As a country, Trinidad and Tobago, I think we are much more aware of persons who are blind and visually impaired, and by extension, persons with disabilities. But the infrastructure and sometimes our attitudes are not in line with our awareness.
And then you're ready, Shine. Inside?
Yeah.
Okay, clapping now. Miss Yvette, take one.
I am Yvette Francis. I am 70 years old, almost. I'm a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, a good friend. I've got lots of sisters and brothers. I'm visually impaired, but I'm enjoying it to the extent where it's not keeping me back. I've got children, 3 of them now. I lost one through an accident. He got run over by a car while crossing the street, but may his soul rest in peace. I feel comfortable walk. I guess it's because I love to walk. I guess it's because I love to be out in the sunshine. I guess it's because I am a nature person. I want to be out there. You know why? Because when I was a child and was unable to go anywhere, and mommy would have me sit and observing whatever she's doing, maybe cooking or washing or whatever, I used to dream of wanting to go out and walk on my own. Because at the school for blind children, we had that freedom. But it's on a big expanse of land. So there was the garden, there was the savannah, there was the swimming pool. So we had that opportunity to walk around unaided. But because of our experiences as children, being in that freedom, it's a life that I appreciate as a blind person. Coming out of my home is easy because I've done it for practically 33 years. There are things along the way I look out for. We call them obstacles, or we call them landmarks. So while I walk, I will move the cane from side to side, and I will find my way correctly. I know how to use my cane to come through the gate, go down the steps, make that right turn when I reach out of the building, and walk along the sidewalk, listen out for cars coming along the way. And I use my senses. If I'm hearing any cars in the way and I think I shouldn't go further, I will stop and wait until the car passes me. There's a metal covering that I would follow that would take me from one point to the next. And once I'm touching that metal covering, I know I'm at the right side. I know there are cars that also will be on the extreme right.
My name is Kenneth Surratt, and I am the Executive Officer of the Trinidad and Tobago Blind Welfare Association. The purpose of the Blind Welfare Association is to provide rehabilitative services for persons who are blind and visually impaired. Blindness is on a spectrum, so we have persons who are totally blind, like myself, so I cannot see anything at all. Blindness is really when glasses or contact lens no longer can help you. So you're either blind or partially sighted, or as we call it in Trinidad and Tobago, visually impaired. So the challenges persons who are blind, we have inconsistent pavements. So sometimes the drop is very high, and if you slip off the pavement, you could injure yourself. Sometimes they leave manhole open. You may not be able to know where the zebra crossing is because the pavement is not tactile. There are fire hydrants all over the place and not in a standardized arrangement. They may have lights to cross. If you don't have auditory signals to tell you, one, to know how to find it, to press it that you want to walk, and to tell you it is safe to cross, because most of our signs are lights. When you could see, you do things in a particular way, especially from a visual point of view. Once you go blind, you perceive the world through your other 4 senses. So adjustment to blindness is really how do we maximize those other senses so that you could live fulfilling life through total independence or maximum independence.
Sound for me is a different variation of what you might hear. So if I'm on grass and I tap the cane, it would be a soft sound. If I'm walking close to a metal thing like the drain covering, you'll hear a louder sound. That's my indication that you're at the side of the road. If I'm walking on concrete, you get a different sound. If I'm walking and I touch the gate, you know that's the iron gate. If I touch a car, I know that's a car because it's not on the ground, it would be further up. It's a height then. The world wasn't really made for persons with visual impairment, so you have to adapt. If there's too much of a crowd on the pavement, we have to go slowly, and they guide you along the way too. So most times people ask me if I'm crossing, and then they say, take my arm. People will come to my assistance. Sometimes if they can't come, they might say, okay, cross now. So I'm hearing the person in the distance, and I go slowly with my cane outstretched a bit, and I manage. Long time they used to tell you, why don't you stay inside? If you can't see, stay inside. But then if I stay inside, you wouldn't know that blind people can walk the street. I tell my children I like coming outside. I meet people who I haven't met for a long time, and people might say, you might meet someone and they might say, hey, I've been seeing you walking the street so long. So it's like, wow, you have been noticing me. My experience, most of it is like 95, always good. I'm encouraged to go out there and do what I have to do. My therapy, now that I've retired, is to go to the library, make some groceries, come back, cook a meal. I could plan my day and feel satisfied.
We will start with legislation. Whatever legislation you have, ensure that they have a component to protect persons with disabilities. If you have a policy, ensure that your policy deals with persons who have a component to take care of persons with disabilities. If you have a procedure, ensure that someone with a disability, a part of that, could benefit from that procedure. At the end of the day, ensure that anything you do, take into consideration the end user, and that end user could be anybody. It could be male, female, it could be the elderly, the young people, and in addition, it will be persons with disability. And make sure it is not difficult to use. Make sure it is easy to use and you don't have to jump through hoops to use it. The user interface must be easy.
To the policymakers, I would like to say to get the drivers to be a little more courteous, see how best they can get the homeless off the streets. You can tell that the streets are dirty because you can get that very, very, very awful smell out of the way, and you're wondering if you're walking into it or you're walking out of it, where it is. So we want to keep the pavements clean. There are a lot of posts along the way, so I don't know how they can fix that, but maybe they have a way, because if they have to make it happen, they will make it happen. When you're independent, you can do so much things. So as an average blind person, you have to learn, use your other senses, as they say, go with a friendly and adaptable spirit, talk to people, try to ignore the ones that are not making sense to you, the people who might be making you feel less than. You could ignore that and let them know that you can. The word is can. If you try, you will have obstacles along the way, but that is supposed to make you get better. My experience, my senses, and my willingness to get out there work for me. You know what? When you overcome the challenge, then you say, then you think in your mind, yes, I made it. It makes you feel that you have achieved something when you overcome a challenge.
You see, if it's one thing we will take away, always remember, as I say, two things, the shared space and who's going to use it. And if you clear in your mind whatever you do, if you're writing a poem and you say what you want to transmit, love and peace and kindness, you will do nothing that will bring harm to people because you didn't write it for yourself. Or if you're driving down the road is not for you alone, the road is for all of us.
Y'all, this lady uses a clock.
Very inspiring. No, it's very inspiring, Yvette. I think people need to hear these things,
Yes.
People need to hear your experience and your story.
Yeah.